wrong, but the argument is something like, you're telling us, the world, that the Enlightenment is the path forward, and it just so happens that you, in the European-derived West, are ahead in the use of these tools, which you claim are the route to discovering the truth of how the universe works. So are you really telling us that it just so happens that the way forward for all of us is a way in which you are all ahead? That sounds like bullshit to us, right? That sounds like you deciding that it just so happens we're going to settle military matters from now on with basketball. Oh, really? Basketball? That's the game you're going to choose to settle it? It's not going to be soccer or something like that? It's going to be basketball? So the thing that I think we have to notice is that there is truth in the part of this that says that, yes, the power that derives from Enlightenment values is not evenly distributed across the globe. But the question is, are we really supposed to reject the power of the Enlightenment, or are we supposed to democratize the power of the Enlightenment? I think democratizing the power of the Enlightenment is a slam dunk. And I would point out, actually, I feel in a good position to say this because although I am of European descent, I'm also Jewish, and the Enlightenment was not a Jewish phenomenon. But I'm going to wield those tools like a broadsword because they're the best tools. They don't come from my ancestors, but they are useful to me, and they will be useful to my descendants. And anybody who wishes to be powerful on Earth by virtue of understanding how things actually function should level up through the acquisition and enhancement of this particular toolkit. So that's really, I think, the battle we're in. Are we supposed to reject the toolkit in order to level the playing field, or are we supposed to bring everybody on board with the toolkit so that everybody has access to these most powerful tools for discovering how things function?
Now, wouldn't the social justice warriors who hounded you out of a job say that they actually are on the side of the Enlightenment, and that the evolution of greater egalitarianism and participation for all people, whatever their gender or race, is a trajectory that they're defending?
I would have thought that that's what they would say, but they literally said the opposite. And it's honestly the most stunning thing to face people who would stare down the Enlightenment and claim that, in fact, it's a kind of fraud, that really the whole idea that the Enlightenment is a key to insight is a rationalization for the naked wielding of power, that it's not really insight at all, that the arguments that are powerful in science are really just power arguments. They're not arguments about truth or mechanism or anything like that. So, yeah, before I had these conversations myself, I would have said exactly what you conjectured. But
I want to
having
confirm
had
that.
them,
They have jumped the shark.
Yeah.
So just recently, about a month ago in the UK, there was a clickbait TV interview between Piers Morgan and somebody whose name I can't remember. But Piers was criticizing her for her support of the hijacking of the left-wing movement in the UK, and strawmanned her. Piers Morgan said, well, you know, it was over immigration, and he said, well, your hero, Obama, did so and so and so and so under his presidency. And she responded with these very words. She said, Obama's not my hero. I'm literally a communist, you idiot. Now, what happened next was the clip went viral. People started cheering as if that was a great response, that she shut up Piers Morgan, who is in need of shutting up on many an occasion, but not by proudly announcing you're a communist. Now, that's what's happened, right? So they've jumped the shark. She didn't try and argue a defense of Enlightenment values against his position, and taken a pro-immigration position from an egalitarian perspective. She basically ditched all of that, said she was a communist. What happened next fascinated me even more. There's a magazine, what was it? What's that magazine she was featured in? It was
Teen Vogue.
Some
of you may have missed it.
Or was it Ella magazine?
No, Teen Vogue. I assure you, I bought both.
Right.
It's a fine intellectual quarterly.
Douglas reads them in the sauna. But it said, and it was headlined, you know, something along the lines of, just so I'm not, you know, defaming anyone, because of course I just won a great defamation case, 3.4 million, thank you. It was it said something along the lines of, hero who shut up Piers Morgan by quipping that she is literally a communist, as if that was a good thing.
the-
And that
the
magazine
amount
was
of-
printed in D.C. The journalist who wrote it was in Washington, D.C.
The moral frivolity of deciding to forget the gulag in
Absolutely.
order to win a point of
Yeah.
here's frigging Morgan
Yeah.
is a real
Yeah.
disgrace. Anyhow, look, where to... Just one other thought very quickly to back up what Bret just said. I mean, look, there are people on college campuses now in the US. There was one again recently that described facts as European-centric as an idea. They're like, facts are like something we've got to fight against because of where they come from
I mean,
and their oppressive nature.
The funny thing is that the guy who says that the most is the President of the United States, who that person probably doesn't like very much.
Yeah, but they mirror each other in
Yes,
many
yes.
a way. Yeah.